was National Signing Day this week, and we've got news on student athletes putting pen to paper across Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. A special edition of State Champs Scouts Show starts now. Welcome inside the State Champs Sports Network studio. I'm Jenna Rose, and this is State Champs Scout Show, the best weekly recruiting show covering the upper Midwest tri-state area. Scout Show is presented by Metro Detroit's Lawrence Technological University. If you have the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Tech offers over 24 NAIA varsity sports and the most valuable undergraduate degrees you can earn. Academic and athletic scholarships are available. Recruit yourself by visiting LTUathletics.com. We are also revisiting former Michigan State and pro quarterback Ryan Van Dyke's Recruiting 101 segment as he discusses how quarterbacks should craft their highlight packages. It was National Signing Day. Let's get to the news, and let's begin in Michigan.
I'm Lauren Plant. Here's what's happening from the state of Michigan. When Oak Park's Rayshon Benny didn't sign on the early signing day in December, nobody took it as a red flag. Maybe someone should have seen it as a blue flag. In November, when Michigan's coaching staff was in turmoil and MSU was on a recruiting roll, Benny flipped to the University of Michigan on National Signing Day, helping fill a gap in the hole in what had already been a stellar recruiting class for the Wolverines. The Amble Award finalist missed most of the shortened regular season with an injury, but returned with a vengeance in the playoffs, helping an Oak Park team that hadn't won on the field in the regular season to an improbable run all the way to the Division II state semifinal. Benny, who racked up 32 tackles, 11 for loss, and 5.5 sacks in 5 games, will team up with New Jersey native George Rooks and Texas Ichukwu Iwuna, a flip from Colorado, to form the base of a new style of defensive line in the new Wolverines defensive coordinator's Mike McDonald's 3-4 scheme. One of the biggest peaks in a mountain range of an offensive line for River Rouge, left guard Tyler McMillan had been committed to Tulsa since the beginning of December, but on Wednesday, on National Signing Day, he flipped to Mississippi Valley State. The 6'6", 325-pound McMillan said in a post on Twitter, the change was due to some unexpected changes and unfortunate circumstances and came after discussion with coaches and family. The Panthers' senior-laden offensive line averaged 6'2" and 306 pounds and had 4 of 5 members committed to colleges or signed entering Wednesday. They combined to pave the way for a River Rouge offense that averaged 34 points per game en route to a second straight appearance in the D3 title tilt. The Eastern Michigan coaching staff took some social media heat after bringing in 0 in-state players in their 20-player haul in the early signing period, but that was remedied a bit on Wednesday when they grabbed defensive tackle from Oxford in Carter Gilbert. The 6'4", 290-pound lineman played both ways for new Wildcats head coach Zach Line in 2020, lining up at left tackle and center and recording 9.5 tackles and 2 tackles for loss playing defensive end, earning all league honors in the OAA Red Division. He also punted for the Wildcats. Gilbert may have flown under the radar both because he missed half his junior season with injury, limiting his exposure on the camp circuit, even before the pandemic hit, and partly because he grew 2 inches and added muscle mass to his frame during his junior year. One of the few players in the state's top 60 who came into the day completely uncommitted, Walled Lake Central tight end Blake Nelson has decided where he's headed next year. He's going the JUCO route, signing with Independence Community College. The Pirates had 10 players signed with major college programs in December's early signing period, and 144 players signed in total over the past 4 years. The 6'4", 235-pound Nelson, who will enroll at just 17 years old, played both ways for the Vikings at tight end and defensive end, and despite a handful of Division I offers over the past 2 years, was easy to lose track of on a squad that posted a 2-23 record over the last 3 seasons. Hadn't claimed a victory since a 1-point win in Week 8 of 2018. Nelson's first offer came from Kentucky in April of that year, and his most recent came from Kent State last January. If we expanded our field for the State Champs Mr. Football Award by even just a little bit, there's every likelihood that Warren De La Salle's Brett Stanley would have forced his way off the watch list and into the contest. The 5'9", 195-pound senior did a little bit of everything for the Pilots, playing running back and linebacker and returning kicks, helping them make it back to the Division II title game after a losing regular season. He does a little bit of everything at De La Salle, too, a two-time All-State wrestler and top-notch infielder in baseball along with his gridiron skills. And he'll be able to do 2 of those at his college destination. Stanley signed with Division II Northwood University on Wednesday, will play baseball and football for the Timberwolves. Through the regional finals, he rushed for just less than 700 yards and 9 touchdowns and was the leading scorer for the Pilots with 62 of their 262 points and had returned 26 kicks and punts for 537 yards. That's the latest from National Signing Day in Michigan. I'm Lauren Plant. If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
This is Scott Bernstein from Indiana. Columbus East junior volleyball star Cadence Gilly will play in college at Indiana State, making an official commitment to the Sycamores last week. Cadence plays for the nationally ranked Circle City Purple team and recorded 332 digs, 43 aces, and 54 assists for an East Olympian squad that won the Hoosier Hills Conference in 2020. Moving to the football field, Indianapolis Cathedral senior quarterback Nate McCahill, the player of the year in the Circle City, committed to play his college ball at D3 DePaul University last week. The 6-foot, 180-pound Fighting Irish gunslinger made the most of his only varsity campaign starting under center, racking up 3,125 yards and 41 touchdowns through the air, while leading his club to a 13-1 record and a 5A state crown. His state finals performance was a masterpiece, just pure genius, going 27 of 35 for 325 yards and 5 touchdowns in a 46-28 win over a scrappy Zionsville squad. Indianapolis Roncalli senior running back Baron Hubler, one of the hardest running ball carriers the Hoosier State has produced in recent memory, committed to Marian University last week. Marian University is an NAIA school. Hubler, 5'9", 190 pounds, was the epitome of a blood, sweat, and tears tailback, all guts, grit, and intestinal fortitude on the field of battle. He rushed for 2,320 yards and 32 heart and soul touchdowns in Roncalli's 13-1 4A state championship season in 2020. This is Scott Bernstein from Indiana.
Did you record an unbelievable touchdown, a game-winning goal, or just a proud parent moment? Then we want your clip. Upload your video to the brand new State Champs Network app so we can feature it on one of our shows and give your player, team, and school the recognition they deserve. All it takes is just a few easy clicks, and every clip that is submitted will automatically be eligible for prizes. Download the State Champs Network app today for iPhone and Android devices.
This is Alan True with your look at National Signing Day happenings from around the state of Ohio. Jordan Johnson, a wide receiver from Columbus St. Francis de Sales, committed to and signed with Grand Valley State University. This is a big pickup for the Lakers, as he had an offer from FIU. Johnson has been a 3-year varsity starter and a 2-way starter since his junior season. As a senior, he had 31 receptions for 622 yards and 5 touchdowns. He now heads to Grand Valley, where wide receivers coach Roy Roundtree is an Ohio native. Johnson was an all-league and all-district selection 2 years running. Combo punter kicker Garrison Smith is committed to Michigan State as a preferred walk-on. The Norwalk standout is ranked by Coles Kicking as the number 13 punter in the country and the number 19 kicker. Corn Blue Kicking ranks him the number 7 kicker and number 11 at punter. He was a first-team All-Ohio selection as a kicker as a senior. Cincinnati had also offered him a preferred walk-on spot.
Cincinnati LaSalle quarterback Zachary Branham has switched his commitment from Valparaiso to Navy. An athletic dual-threat prospect, he rushed for 2,800 yards and passed for over 3,000 in his career with 65 total touchdowns. He led his team to a state title as a junior while winning Division II Offensive Player of the Year. He finishes his high school career with a 21-5 mark as a starter. Wide receiver Ethan Fletcher of Canfield is headed to the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. In just 7 games as a senior, Fletcher set a new school record with 40 receptions, good for 487 yards, and scored 4 total touchdowns. He also chipped in 383 yards as a rusher. He was an All-Ohio selection for the Division III Regional Champion. That's it for recruiting news this week. I'm Alan True.
Hi, this is Ryan Van Dyke at Quarterback University. I'm back at State Champs Network talking to you about Recruiting 101. Next on the list of things to do is the highlight tape, okay? And I'm not talking about the VHS highlight tape. I'm talking about the new and improved huddle via social media or any type of way that you're trying to get that to a coach. I'm going to begin with quarterbacks. Obviously, I was a quarterback. I work with quarterbacks as part of my living, so I know what I'm talking about when I tell you this, okay? Don't put your highlight film together and just show fade balls, okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to take that to the next step. If I'm a college coach and I'm truly interested in you as a player, all right? If you're a quarterback, I want to see your entire game film. I want to know how you reacted to that 3rd and long versus, maybe you had a sack fumble and you came out that next play. Yeah, that wouldn't be on a highlight film. That would be on an entire game film because I want to know what you look like when you're ugly. I mean, that's kind of what it is. And if I got a quarterback that I can trust and he's going to make the game look easy on film, manage situations, and you can just tell by some of the nonverbal things that he does, then that kid's probably going to be a winner. I can tell you right now, without a doubt, there's a lot of winning quarterbacks in the state of Michigan right now. They are very cerebral, they're well-trained, they care about what they do, and they've involved their teams in all their training. Okay, so when it comes to quarterback and a highlight film, all right, I'm not so big into that. What I am concerned about is watching the game film and seeing them from start to finish. So that's it for quarterbacks. Next week, we're going to explore wide receivers and what they can do to put on film.
Join us again next week because even though National Signing Day is over, recruiting never stops. And be sure to check out State Champs Scout Teams, Matt Mowry's and Scott Bernstein's blogs at statechampsnetwork.com. I'm Jenna Rose. Have a great week.
State Champs Scout Show is proudly presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare.